Hey there, welcome back to Scripps News Live. I'm Veronica Cruz. So the entertainment industry has found itself in a situation it hasn't seen for more than half a century. Thousands of actors have joined the picket line in front of major studios after the Screen Actors Guild officially called for a strike. And it began 1 minute past midnight on the West Coast. Actors have now joined their colleagues from the Writers Guild who've been striking since May. And this is the first joint strike in more than 60 years. Associated Press entertainment reporter Andrew Dalton joining us now live from Los Angeles. Andrew, how did we get here? I mean, how did we end up with both the writers and the actors striking at the exact same time?
You know, more than anything, this comes from the shift from traditional broadcast and cable models over to streaming. It used to be that if you were on an episode of Seinfeld or The Office, and every time it reran on television, you would get a check. And that was a really important source of income for actors and for writers. With the move to Netflix and Hulu, places like that, they're not getting that piece of the income. So they're really looking for a way to get that share of income that was so essential, especially for the people who, maybe weren't rich and famous, the lesser actors. There's also this issue of artificial intelligence. Both actors and writers are looking for safeguards against studios, taking their work, transforming it digitally, and using it, without their input and without their pay.
Right. So there obviously is a lot at stake here. Do you know how long these strikes could last, Andrew, and what kind of an impact this will have on the industry as a whole? I mean, how do you think this is going to change the entertainment industry?
It's really difficult to say. As you said, this hasn't happened in since 1960, where we had two unions like this out at the same time, and so it's really almost unprecedented territory. It's so difficult to say how this is going to look on the other side. I mean, past writer strikes have lasted anywhere from 3 to 5 months. Actor strikes are generally a little bit shorter, but both sides, when the talks broke off, said they were so far apart. And there aren't talks planned for either side now, so it could really stretch out for a long time, and it's hard to know what the industry is going to look like on the other side.
Do you know how far apart the two sides are? I mean, I know that Fran Drescher came out yesterday. She spoke with the press. I wanted to get your reaction to what she had to say and also get your thoughts as to how far the two sides are right now.
I mean, she was so adamant yesterday. She was angry. She was calling, Fran Drescher was calling the offers from the studios disgusting. I mean, it was that level of vitriol. They were saying that, the offers that they're getting, and we don't really know the specifics of those. I mean, the talks have happened in private. We've heard, general outlines. But they say the offers that the studios are making aren't even, beginning to be acceptable. So there's a big bridge to gap. There was a federal mediator in with the actors and the studios on the last day, but that did nothing to end it. And this isn't like the railroads or sort of the kind of thing where the federal government is going to step in immediately and try to bring a stop to it. I mean, entertainment is an important part of the culture and the economy, but they don't take those kinds of measures. So it's really hard to say. I mean, it's very easy to see this going into next year.
And one of the things that Drescher had to say when she was calling out CEOs and the movie studios is she was saying that they were greedy. When you think about the entertainment industry or the movie industry, we were just looking at pictures right there of the cast of SNL. You don't necessarily think of these actors as being starving actors. When the Screen Actors Guild is fighting for a quote-unquote living wage, what do they mean by that essentially?
Well, the Screen Actors Guild is 65,000 people in the acting part of the union. So the people that who are rich and famous is maybe 3-4% of that group. So there are a lot of people who sort of struggle to find work. Jump from job to job, maybe make a one-off appearance on a TV show, a small part in a movie. And those people aren't making a killing. And those people, many of them really are struggling, especially with the consistency of money coming in. So when they're looking for that kind of long-term guaranteed pay that comes from having your work still out there, having your work on streaming services, they're looking for that kind of consistent flow of money that has really dried up, especially for the poorest people in the union.
Yeah, well, things have really changed with technology and streaming as a whole, so it's going to be interesting to see where things head next. Andrew Dalton with the Associated Press. Andrew, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we're following these stalled negotiations closely for you right here on Scripps News Live. You can